back, part two of our live chat. Seems like the internet up here took a dump, so hopefully the sound quality is okay now. You guys can hear me okay. Um, and yeah, all right. So for those tuning in to part two, I'm Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. All of my information is down below. And we are going to be diving into the weekly reading for today. Let's see. As well as taking a look at a channeling with Mama Gaia. So happy to do that. That was voted on by you guys, my patrons, my YouTube members, as well as the public. And yeah, then we'll do our super chats and super stickers. And what is that? Well, that is for people that would like a personal one card reading or channeling. We can do that towards the end of the chat, and then we'll have our nice channeled guided meditation. All right, Aurora is the first one back. Jamie is here. Hello, hello. Okay, Andrew says it sounds much better now. All right, excellent. Okay, so you guys, let me know what you guys are working with today. So, what decks are you working with? Are you working with runes? Are you using your pendulums? Are you just straight bringing down the guidance and channeling? Let me know, and we'll get those messages out. Okay, so let me show you the decks that I have. Not sure that I'm going to use all of them, but I'm feeling really earthy today. So, I have the Raven's Wand Oracle. I have the Sacred Forest Oracle. Everybody's saying hello again. Nice to see you guys. Well, it's like it's been forever, my loves. I have the Solitary Witch Oracle. Amanisha, hello, hello. Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle. I told you I'm feeling like super earthy today. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to use all of these decks. It's just the ones that I pulled out that were a little earthy, foresty, you know. Star around. Hey. All right. So Andrew and Caitlin and Susie are all back. Jamie. I have the pagan other worlds, and I also have my northern animal tarot here. So you know, we'll see what we end up busting out today. um Susie is buffering. Woo. Caitlin says I have the Vanessa's Wild Muse, the AFI Bodies Oracle, and I also have the Sacred Forest. Nice. Amanisha, once the Forest Oracle, just got my 120th deck Wishcraft Oracle. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into this week. What is coming up for us this week? You know, things to look out for, things to embrace. It's nice to have a heads up, um, you know, just so we know how to work with the energy that we have going on. Amanisha said Wishcraft was just released. Whoa. You know, I think I'm so far I'm like so out of the loop. I feel when you know, it comes to all the new stuff getting released, except for the stuff that you guys mentioned. I'm like I don't know what's out there anymore. I mean, there's so many new creators and um, just lots of awesomeness, I must say, going on. Aurora said Stacey DeMarco is amazing, the creator of Wishcraft. I agree. Stacey DeMarco, I love so many of her decks. Amanisha said you would like it. Awesome. All right. So we have the pagan otherworlds right now. We're going to go ahead and give this a little shuffle, and let's see what's going on this week. I feel like pulling a few of these cards, and let's pull a Raven's Wand to go along with it. And while I do this, you guys go ahead and you could shuffle up your decks or channel or slang your runes, your pendulums, Ouija board. Let me know. Perhaps oracle decks that you guys have created. Woo! And there goes one of my cards. So that's one of the cards for this week. Okay. Ooh, that is a cold wind, you guys. All right, I'm going to put that in here, and then we're going to pull a Raven's Wand Oracle. All right, Susie is back. She's back, Jack. And while I'm shuffling these up, I want to give a little shout out to my creators and awesome folks that are in the chat. So Aurora, you guys see her in here. She's one of my moderators. She's also one of my YouTube members. But she has a deck that she has created. It's out there on makeplayingcards.com. If she would like to put the link, that would be amazing. You guys can definitely go check it out. But also Susie is a wonderful astrologer. She's always trying to learn more. She knows that there isn't like a peak where all of a sudden you just know everything. You know, she knows that life is a constant state of learning and teaching as well. And so there's so much about Western astrology that I've learned through her. And she does some of her astrology on her YouTube channel as well as her Instagram. So definitely go check it out. And there's many other people in here who have YouTube channels. I know Aurora oftentimes meets with there's another YouTube group. Aurora, refresh my memory. It's the I keep thinking Triple Goddess. Well, you'll remind me. But they come together. They have wonderful chit chats, so much knowledge to share about the goddess, about intuition, things like that. So I know that there's a lot of other YouTube members, YouTube folks in here who have some fabulous channels. They're sharing some high vibe stuff, people diving in all different areas of the esoteric, the metaphysical, just trying to understand this existence and help us to reawaken to our truest forms, our truest self, and help to guide each other, here on this journey. So triple daughters, thank you. Thank you. So Aurora is hangs out with the triple daughters, which is her, Paula, which is known as Hecate's Crossing, and Jackie Evelyn. So definitely go check them out. Sometimes I'm lurking in their videos. Okay, so it looks like we have our messages. So let me put this away. And let's see what we got cooked up this week. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands. We have the High Priestess. Oh, we have the Seven of Swords. So coming in, 7-7. I will say my background is Mayan astrology, and that's something that I teach, through my website, but something that I put out on my Instagram every once in a while. But the number 7 in Mayan numerology is kind of seen as the death card in tarot. It's all about endings and beginnings, and that's interesting because we just had our very powerful pinnacle of the 11-11 yesterday, but it was also extra magical because 11-11-2023 in numerology adds up to the number 11. So the actual day was the number 11. So that's akin to, let's say, the magician's card, everything adding up to that number 1. Fabulous, powerful, spectacular beginnings, all of your intention, everything, everywhere that you're at right now in your healing, being pushed forward into that quantum energy. And so with this number 7, I see it as a lot of the things that maybe we were working on yesterday, thinking about yesterday, and that we have been thinking about and working on is ready to be shed. A lot of that old stuff ready to be let go of because there's a lot of things that we want for ourselves in the future. I want to grow into this. I want to become my higher self. I want to have less ego, whatever it may be. And it's really time to shed that. And when there is a shedding, sometimes it can be quite painful. I attribute it to much like adolescence, where we're somewhat shedding or releasing our childhood and growing into adulthood. So it's kind of this awkward stage that we're in. And that's kind of how I see the number 7. We're in this kind of awkward stage of I'm ready for these higher, bigger, better experiences, to go into this new chapter. But in order for me to be ready for that, I've got to go through this hero's journey. I got to be able to face things that maybe are a little scary for me or a little uncomfortable. And I have to be able to go through that so that I can release the things that no longer serve me so I can get into that version of myself that I've always wanted. And so I'm seeing that with the seventh. So this is indeed a very powerful week. You know, we've been going through some powerful energy already. So I feel like I'm a broken record every week. I'm like, more powerful stuff, more powerful stuff. But yes, it's a continuation of that. And we have that death and rebirth going on. And with this high priestess card, it's definitely getting in touch with that higher self, that higher knowledge, instead of seeking what's outside of myself. And, it's, although I'm not saying to discount it. You know, there's wonderful things that we can gain from others when listening to others, our fellow brothers and sisters, things that we can read in books. But really, we have to go inwards and find out what is our truth, run it through our filter. What is my journey, my path? Because it may not look like anybody else's. And although there might be people out there we admire, we can't be them because there's already a version of them. But you need to be you because there is a version of you that is unique, and that is you. We need you here on this plane. And so that's what the high priestess is all about. She is accepting the both halves of herself, her earthly self, but also her higher spiritual self. And she knows that, you know, we have to be able to strike a balance between the two. And how can I take that higher knowledge and bring it down here into my physical form? All right. And so for our oracle card, we have old ghosts. And to me, that's also speaks of releasing things from the past coming back up, perhaps some old traumas, some old programming, and it's coming back in the forms of situations, people, maybe something somebody said, and it triggers us. And triggers aren't bad. It's our body, our emotions trying to tell us there's something that is unhealed. That's why we're triggered. That's why we get upset. That's why we say, oh, I didn't like that trigger. I want to try to avoid it, but avoidance is not the key. That means that if we're trying to avoid it, that trigger is just going to keep coming back, and it's going to keep coming back and keep coming back until we face it, until we're ready to release it. And then once we heal and release it, we're no longer triggered by those things anymore. We're in a new state. We're in a new growth state. It's kind of like, if we're going to go on the analogy of adolescence, think about when you're a kid and let's say somebody teased you when you're a very small child, and they were like, oh, you're a booger eater, or something like that. Maybe to a small child that hurts. Don't call me a booger eater. And they cry and it feels really bad. But then we grow, we understand, where that stuff's really coming from, and it's because they themselves perhaps were bullied, perhaps they feel very weak inside, and so they want to feel strong, against others by putting them down. And we learn that as adults. And so if as an adult somebody came up to you and says you're a booger eater, that means nothing to me, and that's the same thing. That's how triggers work. We grow, we heal, we're no longer triggered. And so that's what this week is all about. So expect some of that stuff to come up. Don't be afraid of it. Don't try to avoid it. This is for you. This is healing for you. So, and this is massive healing so that you can grow all those wishes that you have, all those things that you want in your life. Yes, the universe wants it for you too. But in order to get to it, there's some things that we have to release so that we can become lighter, so we can become all those wonderful things that we want. Okay, let's see. Let me go back, miss some of your comments. Ooh, Be the Infinity is here. Good morning. And she's using the Story Oracle. Excellent. Aurora said, first card from AFI Bodies is tied to a tree. The meaning is keeping your inner light hidden within. Don't be afraid to shine your light. Excellent. Aurora said, we would love to have you sometime when Paul is feeling better. I would love to join you guys. Amanisha Satara, I'm building a wooden Hindu home temple. Beautiful. Susie said, Tara is a wonderful Mayan astrologer. I took her class. She is amazing. Learned a lot. Highly recommend. Thank you. Amanisha says, I see 11 all the time and 3. Wow. James and I just seeing repeating numbers like crazy, especially the ones. I agree. Susie's talking about my Leon Mystery School. Yes, you guys definitely check it out. Butterfly. Hey, how are you, love child? Susie has posted Aurora's YouTube channel. You guys can go check it out. Amanisha says, I feel something big and life-changing is coming to me, something I've waited for years. What do you think? I think that something like that is coming for all of us. I totally agree. Feel you on that. I totally feel you on that. And Caitlin said it fits with my card perfectly. Susie also agreeing with Amanisha. We're all definitely feeling something big coming for us, some big changes. And also, Amanisha, wishing everyone a happy Diwali. I almost forgot. That's right. Today is Diwali. So the lights, this is all about honoring the darkness with the light, shining our light into the darkness, not being afraid. Beautiful, beautiful time. Aurora said I was called a freak for not having my ears pierced. So I had them pierced when I turned 13, but I took them out when I was 18. I was, oh my goodness. So almost some horrible things happening when she was 14. And then she found out when she had turned 16. Oh my goodness. Sending tons and tons of healing love to you, Caitlin. Lots and lots of love. Seriously. Butterfly says, I'm hanging out with my dog and reading Trending Bridget's Flame. Excellent. Caitlin says you are, or sorry, Susie said you are a survivor, Caitlin. We are here for you always. I definitely back up Susie on that one. And definitely sending lots of protective vibes as well. And to other people who have been violated sexually in that way, definitely sending you guys lots of healing. But know that the healing isn't impossible. And I think that that's what, Amanisha talking about people feeling like something big coming for us. I think a lot of those past traumas, those horrible things that have happened to us, that there's a lot that we can learn from it, grow from it, become better human beings, and that those things do not define us, that our traumas, horrible things, those things are not us. They are something that occurred, something that can be healed, and something that can make us even stronger and brighter. So lots of love to each and every one of you. Dana, what's up, Chica? How are you? Amanisha says, may everyone find their way through the dark to bright, beautiful, auspicious light. 100% agree. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into our channeling today. All right, so on the YouTube public poll, my YouTube membership poll, and my Patreon poll, I asked of four things. I gave you guys four options of things that you wanted to see during today's live chat, and it was somewhat unanimous. So I counted up the votes from Patreon, I counted up the votes from my YouTube membership, and also from the public poll. And it came out that a lot of people wanted a channeling from Gaia. So wanting to hear what she had to say. And that's probably why I have more of my earthy decks with me. But we're going to go ahead and dive into that channeling. After the channeling is complete, those of you wanting a one card reading from me, something personal for you, I'd be more than happy to pull a card for you through the super chats and super stickers. But if you want something that's a little bit bigger, like you want a full on reading, you want to really dive into some deep spaces and deep places and looking for some healing, you could check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. And I have a lot of different reading types, everything from a one card reading to 90-minute readings. I have Mayan birth chart readings, also known as Mayan destiny chart readings there. There's also products that I sell as well. They're all handmade, my salves and things like that. But for readings, definitely check out the website. Okay, so Susie's saying, so happy to see everybody here. Dana is happy to see everybody here today, as am I. I'm happy to see you guys. I see you guys in terms of energy, and the energy is beautiful. Susie says she makes the best beauty salve. Well, thank you. Actually, I have some on today. I mean, I know I have my sunglasses on, but I have my rose beauty salve. I always put it underneath my eyes and on top of my cheeks and everything. It always just makes me feel so refreshed. I also have salve that I created with the chinchweed, it grows only in like September, October. All the chinchweed is pretty much gone now. It's not, I don't sell it on my website just because it's a little personal thing and I don't want to like use up all the chinchweed that's here. But if I do get a good quantity, one of these late summer, early falls, then I will put the salve out there for you guys to buy, but it will definitely be in very limited quantity. Susie said it's great for glamour magic or just for a daily self-care routine. Aw, thank you. Okay, so let's get a drink of water and let's see what Mama Gaia has for us today. So before I go into the channeling, are there any burning questions that you have for Gaia? Post it here. I'll try to read them before I go in because once I'm channeling, I'm not here. My ego, at least, is not here. You know, I'm off asleep somewhere, so I can't really read the chat. But I'll at least try to utilize the ego to remember what the questions are so that she can answer them. Or I guess Gaia wouldn't really have a gender. She's a beautiful energy. Caitlin said, Susie, Racine from Owl Moon was just talking about glamour magic. You know what? Funny coincidence. I hadn't seen Owl Moon in quite some time, and she popped up in my feed, and so I was, yeah. So I used to just binge watch her channel like crazy. Um, Amanisha says, where can I send the photo of the temple when finished? DM me over on Instagram at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. I would love to see it. So just send it over to my DMs. Say a little hello. I would love to see it. Aurora said, you know her? Well, I mean, not personally didn't know her, but I used to binge watch her channel years ago. So, and so I hadn't seen her channel in probably a few years. And so she popped back up again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I used to love this chick. She's amazing. So yeah, I'm still wanting to see her newest video. Amanisha doesn't do Instagram. Okay, so go down in the information box down below. There should be my email address. So Tara at kittensweightsandtarot.com. You can definitely send it there. Oh, that's right. Susie's mentioning that I have a video on glamour magic if you guys are interested. So thank you, thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and let's dive into this channeling. Caitlin says she always reminds me of Amy Lee from Evanescence. Dude, I feel you on that one. I can totally see it. Okay. Oh my goodness, it is chilly. You know what? Maybe we should move over to the sun just a little bit. I think so. Let's move over to the sun. I want to cook up a little bit. Let's move over here. Don't worry, I'm bringing you guys with me. Here we go. Over to the sun we go. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted a bit more sunshine. Okay. Oh, thank you. You guys like my leggings? my bestie out in Belgium sent those to me and I love them so much. They're so soft. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in. So those of you who are new to the channel or new to my channelings, I have a channeling playlist if you guys are interested. And what they are is just, I'm just a channel. I'm just a vessel. I push my ego aside. There are measures that I take to make sure that anything that I allow into my vessel is something for the best and highest good for others. I allow them to speak. Sometimes I'm able to embody them so much I kind of sound like them. Other times it's just me, but their messages are coming through me. So I do a little grounding practice, a protective practice. I remind myself that I am source, that I am Gaia. I have a little, I guess, filter to make sure that the entity that I'm looking at, speaking to, is of its truest form and it's not a trickster energy. So yeah, give me just a moment and I will do all of that. I'm going to tap in and connect to Gaia herself, because remember that we are Gaia. So, I mean, I guess it should be an easy connection then. Caitlin has a question for her though. Her question for Gaia is, what was my favorite was my favorite author correct in her story Moon Chosen about how you will retire? Okay, so we'll take a look into that. So Moon Chosen, and to see if that's how we will actually retire. Okay, the real Ghostbuster. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so excellent question. Let's dive in. So, just walking you guys through the process quickly. I'm reminding myself that I am Gaia. Therefore, I'm always grounded. I'm not separated from her at any time. That I am the earth. I am water. I am fire. I am wind. And as I connect to Source, I remember that I have never left Source, that I am Source. And as I connect to my higher self, ask my higher self to protect my energy, to be cognizant of where my energy is at. Now I'm just calling in the essence of Gaia, the energy of Gaia, the spokesperson for Gaia, to come on in. Hello. This is an interesting meeting, as all those who lie upon my form, whether rooted in walking on 2 legs, 4 legs, 6 legs, 8 legs, those that fly, all are in essence my essence. And I find it interesting that so many of you oftentimes feel disconnected from me. But perhaps it's at times when I felt disconnected from myself. But this is a unique time that we're going through, no? A time where we are understanding our true essence, finding that we've never been disconnected, ever. Perhaps seeing the world, as it were, through a new set of eyes or lenses. The charade is disappearing, as it were. And even now, I have viewed myself as shifting and changing. And how others have viewed me as shifting and changing, because you view yourself differently. And perhaps that's how we were reminded that we were never disconnected at all. For we can't help but change at once, together. One cannot be mystified and the other awakened. We must all awaken. And perhaps at once I was seen as nothing but a floating rock in the middle of nothingness, around a ball of fire. Interesting analogy, as we have found that even fire has consciousness and even rocks have consciousness. So to say that I was nothing but a mere rock was just to say that I am a form different than what you believe, but still with consciousness. I am ready to go home, as I hope that many of you are as well. And I speak not just to the human being, but everyone inside of me. To put it symbolically, perhaps this is why you see me as a mother, but my roundness is like the fullness of a belly, full with child. And I have not but one child, not even two, not even triplets, but a whole host of children. Some human, some insect, some amoeba, some air, molecule, plant. And all of my children inside my swollen womb, trying desperately to understand what is on the outside. Just like a fetus listening to its parents for the very first time, feeling out the heartbeat of its mother, listening to the soothing words of its father, being held by the mother, feeling itself out. What am I? Who am I? Am I just a being within an embryonic sac? Am I meant to float endlessly in water? Will my world forever be in darkness? Do I live in a world of sound and feeling? Perhaps this is what it must feel like to be within my womb, wondering what's on the outside. I hear things. I feel things that I don't quite understand. Am I meant to float forever in this environment? Does this environment define me? Am I always meant to feel so heavy and dense? Or is there something outside of this realm, outside of this womb? My children, I can guarantee you there is. And my 9 months is almost up. The contractions are being felt. Just as a baby feels those contractions, so do you. You are ready to be born, each and every one of you. No being any less on this planet. You are all my children. And as you are birthed, perhaps the world might seem quite foreign to you. The light too bright, the sensations too strong. But you will adjust. And you will be so grateful that you learned of another world, that there was something outside of this world. And I cannot consider myself any sort of supreme being, because although I am your mother, much like a Russian nesting doll, I am but a baby inside of my mother. For the universe holds me, and I am within her womb. And for me, my world seems like an inky blackness, dotted with zillions of glorious diamonds for eyes. My only companion, a flaming ball of fire. And although I do notice other satellites, other orbs, I don't quite understand my relation to them. I too am trying to understand myself, my place in this vast universe. And I can tell you, I am ready to be birthed, because I know that this is not my true home. There are others like me. There are other Earths. They're not just planets. We're people. We're beings who appear to you like floating balls in the sky. But we are alive, being held within this ginormous womb. And I can only guess what it must be like on the outside. What it must be like to truly see my own mother and father for the very first time. It must seem like, although no, I have seen them before, I don't remember. Much like you don't remember the world you were in before you were inseminated into me. So together, we're in this together. I feel the contractions and I am excited. You feel the contractions and I hope you feel excited. I don't want to live in a ruse any longer. I don't want to live in a vacuum. I don't want someone to tell me who I am. I want to find it out for myself. And I hope you want the same. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Why play small and put yourselves in a box? Because who you truly are can only be felt with our soul. And I have been connecting with my soul. For our soul is our truest form. A fetus in a womb can only define itself as a fetus. Perhaps I'm a two-legger. Perhaps I'm a fetus. Perhaps I'm a being of the water. Some label it must give itself because it doesn't know anything else. And you all give each other labels because you don't know anything else. And why is this? Because all of us are desperately trying to find out what we are. But looking to the other babies within the womb will not tell you who you are. Because you're all struggling to find it out together. Connect to your soul, my children, as I have been connecting to mine. This is how I know that I have a mother and father waiting for me outside of this universe. You call it awakening. I call it being born. There was a question, a book, Moon Chosen. One of you have asked the author, another child within this womb, seeking to bring guidance and understanding, speaking about how we retire. Retirement is merely hanging your suit up in a closet. The closet representative of a chapter. When you take that suit off and you look in the mirror, you realize that suit didn't define you, but that you merely transitioned into a greater understanding. Why do you think the ego matrix has you fear death? Because they are telling you that life is impermanent. They scare you with darkness. They say that is the end. No more. They would have you believe that the suit that you wear in this lifetime is the only thing that matters. Your only existence, the only thing that defines you. And to believe that that's all you were is a frightful thought. So they tell you death is the end. It is scary. It's something to be wary of. When actuality, you are just removing one suit and stepping into another form. That's all that it is. It's no scarier than when you get dressed in the morning or put your pajamas on at night. Be not afraid. Do not fear the darkness. Through the darkness you find your light, as I will find mine. As a baby looks through the darkness and looks through to find the light. Because in that light, in that doorway, through the mother, is a spectacular world of truth. We are here, my children. Some of you think our birth date is far away. Some people have said that 2030 is the day we will be born. And I guarantee you, we will be preemies. Preemies to those that wish us to be, but we're right on time. We're right on time. Hey guys. All right. Oh my goodness. That is the most beautiful energy I think I've ever had. I'm feeling very emotional right now. let me have some water. Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say. Oh, I'm at a loss for words. The Gemini has no words. Oh, wow. So I will definitely go back and I will rewatch. Bleh, now I can't even talk. I will rewatch the chat. I know that there was probably a lot of things going on. So I'll definitely watch it. Ansor is here. Hello, hello. Dana said that was an incredible, that was incredible and beautiful. I felt the vibration as you were channeling, just incredible. Caitlin said in Moon Chosen, PC has it that the sun spat out so many solar flares, it destroyed technology and forced the earth to sink into the ocean. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm gonna have to like sit with that. It was, yeah, wow. I highly encourage you guys to, in your next meditation, I know that we are Gaia, but invite her consciousness in, because in essence, her consciousness is your consciousness. But to be held like that, um, wow. Yeah, I really, I don't have words to describe it. All I can say is I encourage you guys to channel Gaia's energy, sit with her, meditate with her, however you guys bring in energy and connect to your highest self, bring her in. That was amazing. Magic Universe, hello. Since I have to look back, but I felt a very warm energy. Yes. Jahid's an awesome energy. Woo! All right. Okay. Well, I simmer down now. Um, we've gotten to the point in our chat where we can do some super chats and super stickers. I'd be more than happy to pull some cards for you guys if you wish. But if you're looking for some bigger type readings, something that's way more personal, maybe you don't want all of that shared here during a live chat, then check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have a lot of different types of readings if you guys are interested. But again, I'd be more than happy to pull a card here for you guys too through the super chats and super stickers. But if not, we can go ahead and dive into our guided meditation. And then I'm going to go ground like crazy. And yeah, perhaps go eat a little bit more source. That definitely helps me to ground. Amanisha says, you figured out why I have anxiety and fear for something long waited. Contractions feel exactly what I feel, and I have no kids. Yeah, it's I mean, I I remember a lot of what she was saying. I mean, sometimes I don't really remember what's channeled, but I do remember many parts of this one. And yeah, I feel the contractions. I do. And I think a lot of us, whether we have children or not, we're feeling them. And I'm excited. And I believe her when she says there is nothing to fear. We don't have anything to fear. I think that's the program. Get us to fear so that we look away from the light, keeping us in the darkness. But yet we can have gratitude for the darkness because it's showing us why we might turn to it, and also how we can find our light in it. So there is no malice, there is no hate, for either side, for either polarity, um, because both have something to teach us about ourselves, and they help us to grow. And who can be mad at that? Susie, yes, I'd be more than happy to pull a card for you. Let's use the Sacred Forest. She says, can I have a card pulled for the next year? For next year, sure. Be more than happy. Amanisha says, I fear diabolical Steve at the end of my bed. Oh no. Dana said, it shows us the contrast to help us evolve and grow. Exactly. Aurora, all right, thank you. Okay, so Susie, let's pull a card for the next year. Whew. Just grounding while I pull a card for Susie. Whew. Susie, I'm grounding in your energy right now. Like, okay. Ooh, bear spirit, healing. Ah, I mean, how perfect. That's kind of what we were all just talking about. And Dana, all right, okay, we'll definitely do a general message as well. Okay, so let's dive into Susie. Okay, so Susie, this is actually kind of going off the vibes that we got with Mama Gaia. And for the next year, I know that you are, in physicality, you are a mother. And I know that we've all been born of mothers. Yes, that's how we got here. But for next year, it's being able to see the mother in everyone, regardless of gender and regardless of their form. Being able to see the mother in a tree, being able to see the mother in a rock, and understanding that all of those various forms of mother are various forms of you. And this helps you to understand your own strength and your own confidence in your motherhood. Because if you can see all the different forms of that mother takes and how strong and resilient those forms are, and how they have so much to teach us in so many different ways, that there isn't just one form of mother, that there is a deep mother wound that you heal with that, and finding a strength like you've never felt before, and seeing yourself not just a mother to a child, but a mother to the world. And so it's a very deep mother healing for you next year. A wound that's been waiting to be healed for quite some time. Finally getting the love that it deserves and the transmutation that it deserves. All right. That seems amazing, Susie. An amazing, amazing new year for you next year. All right. Let's go back here. Thank you, Susie. Um, let's see. Jamie says she cleaned my altar, lighting candles. Excellent. Aurora, a message from my fairy guide, Mystique. Would love to. Let's pull a card. All right. For Caitlin, her fairy guide, Mystique. Her fairy guide, Mystique. Ooh, stag spirit, leadership. Okay, let's dive into this one, Caitlin. Mystique is saying that as you have been for actually several months now, truly stepping into your higher self, truly stepping into your solar plexus energy, the soul energy, the sun, and understanding that many of the things that happened in your past, think of the things anytime where people tried to keep you small, put you down, to get you to think less of yourself. They were trying to program you away from your truest nature. You are a very powerful being. You have a lot of wisdom and a lot to share with this world. You have a lot to give. And knowing how bright your light was when you entered this world, the Matrix sought to keep you down. It said, program this child so that she believes that she's not strong enough, that she's not brave enough, that she has nothing to offer. And Mystique wants you to know those were lies. And it's time to break free of those lies, those chains, and that programming. And she says she realizes that you have started to see the light in yourself and how powerful you really are and how much you really do make a difference in this world and how much your voice truly is valued. And she wants you to continue to tap into your intuition, continue speaking. It doesn't matter how many people get upset or people that don't agree with you. In this world, not everybody's going to agree with us. There will be people who are upset with us. But she says that's a good thing. It gets people to see their shadows. It gets to people, it helps them to grow. And that's what you're here to do. So please don't shy away. When you feel you need to say something, you say it. And perhaps it sparks a beautiful discussion, but don't keep yourself small. Don't allow that programming to keep you down. Listen intently to the voice inside of you, to the voice that lifts you up, not the voice that keeps you down. And she says, you're probably pretty clear by now which one is which. All right. Caitlin, oh my gosh, beautiful. Love Mystique's energy. So amazing. Whew. All right. Let's see. Let's go through here. All right. So Dana wanted a general message. Um, okay. Amanisha saying, oh, asking Caitlin, she has a fairy guide. All right. And Jamie will pull a card for you as well. Um, And then Jahid had a question. He said, or asked, what is the best way to be in tune with Gaia, getting back to eating off the land instead of processed foods? I would say, first and foremost, get into meditation, reconnect to your higher self. And in connecting to your higher self, asking your higher self, which is Gaia, which is source, what is the best and highest action for my path and for your journey in your life? How shall I eat? How shall I sustain myself? How shall I live a life in servitude of my mission here? And all of that, I believe, starts on the inside. So definitely, I would encourage meditation, going inwards. Okay, so Dana, let's get to your general message. Let's see here. Thank you, Jahid, for that question. Dana, okay, as I was tapping into your energy, for some reason, I was seeing Barnum and Bailey Circus, like like old school 1980s, like clowns and elephants and things like that. So I have no idea what that means, but okay. We have air spirit knowledge for Dana. All right, Dana. So let's see. Ooh, distraction within higher knowledge. Okay, so your higher self is saying that um, at this time you've kind of gone more inwards. You're trying to find out more. You want to seek beyond. Like you know that there's a lot of information out there on the internet, YouTube, social media, all of these things, and sometimes there's a lot of the same thing that some people say. Either in terms of awakening or how to ground yourself, or the best way to lead a spiritual life. A lot of the messages feel similar. And so you've been trying to seek other messages. Like, what do the other voices out there say. There can't just possibly be one way to ground or one way to live a spiritual life. So you've been trying to expand your knowledge, you've been trying to understand. And in doing so, another matrix failsafe is to catch those who seek to find more. So as you are seeking voices who are unique and different, so that you can put them through your own discernment, please be sure that you are connecting to your higher self when you listen to these messages. Because the matrix is getting very clever, and not just with you, but with a lot of people. In messages that sound really high vibe and sound really good, sometimes can have an undercurrent of keeping you down, keeping you small, which is something that Caitlin's fairy guide Mystique was trying to say about Caitlin, that we are so much more. And there is that battle between light and dark, but remember that there's so much to learn within both. And so perhaps as you look with your discernment and you find that there are messages that maybe sound really good, but when connecting to the higher self actually had the inverse message to it, instead of getting angry or upset, thank it for showing you that your best compass is right within you, that the best truth seeker is there in your higher self. And the only way that we can have confidence in that is actually when we find beings out there that try to trick us. We can thank them instead of get angry with them. Thank you for showing me that I need to be more discerning in the information that I take in. Thank you for showing me that I am a very good guiding rod or divining rod when it comes to seeking out truth. Or thank you for showing me that perhaps I need to connect even more deeply with my higher self. But this is about discernment. Even when on the outside things might seem really spiritual and flashy, go inwards always. Okay. Let's go back here. Jamie. All right. Let me try to find what the question was. You guys are very welcome. Peg Shields has got to run, but thanks again. I'm going to rewatch them both. Have a splendid day, my friends. KDS worker, happy to have this time free from clients. Hugs and love to all. Awesome. Okay, so just looking through the comments, trying to find Jamie's question. So let's see. I'm having a hard time finding it. So Jamie, let me know if this is a general message or you had a particular question, and then we'll get to our friend Janine. Would love to pull a card for you as well. Okay, Jamie said general question. Oh, okay, or general message. All right, got it, gotcha. Dana, you are very welcome. Okay. All right, Jamie, let's go. It's like once I channel something, everything is like just comes in like so easily. Like my little antennae are dee, 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 dee. All right, Jamie. Okay, Jamie, I'm seeing candy canes. And I know that literally next month is December, but I just keep seeing candy canes and seeing you as like a little kid, like seeing candy cane decorations, candy cane lights. Interesting, candy canes. Let's see here. Ooh, we have spirit guardian of summer, expansion. All right. Okay, your higher self coming through. The first words through is it's time for her to fly. It's time for her to fly. Okay. Your higher self is letting you know that there's different levels to awakening. A lot of people talk about, "Oh, I had my awakening back in, 2011, or I had my awakening, and this in the state." But your higher self is reminding you that there's different levels to awakening. That sure there might be one very impactful moment that could be the catalyst for future awakenings, like some people might say. Again, my awakening happened, let's say, in 2011. But that doesn't mean that that's it. That all of a sudden we are, ah, have hit nirvana, but that there's different levels. And you yourself are going through another awakening. And it feels like that's probably why I saw the candy canes in December. There's another huge level for you to step into. And it's going to be another level that your ego is going to try to fight off. And the ego is not, I would say, something vicious that's trying to hurt us, but merely it lives in the third dimension. It only knows the third dimension. And so its one job in this whole world is to keep you in the third dimension. But that's not where you want your consciousness to be. You've been trying to understand more. You've been trying to understand more about yourself, that you want to learn more. And so that in itself is a fight against the 3D, because that ego says, well, there is nothing else. There is nothing else out of this realm. You're kidding yourself. But it has to say that because that's its programming. And so understand that when December rolls around, and whatever the catalyst may be, whatever the event may be, this next awakening, that your ego is going to try to fight it tooth and nail. It's going to tell you that the information that you're receiving is going to hurt you. It's not beneficial for you. You've lost it. All the things that, the ego's tries to do to keep us here. But this is a reminder that the more you feel that, the more you feel that ego fighting against you, that's actually how you know that you're tapping into something really good, that you've hit a nerve, and that you've reached another level. And to not be scared of that other level. And this is about trust in yourself and trust in your intuition. And it might be a little scary because sometimes having that full on trust in a higher self and our intuition is something different. It's not something that's taught in the 3D for good reason, because it doesn't reside in 3D. And so just have that in the back of your mind. So, nothing to be fearful about, nothing to worry about, but the catalyst that happens, it seems like around our Yule time, around Christmas time, is for your benefit. It's for your growth. It's for your expansion, because you are here to not only aid in your own expansiveness, your own conscious expansiveness, but you're meant to help others as well. And the only way to do that is to truly step into who you really are, which is way beyond your 3D form. So good stuff coming for you. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all of you. I know, like, just like adolescence, it can seem a little scary, but really there's nothing to be fearful of. This is all very beneficial. And on the other side, we are going to be so freaking grateful. Um, Liesl's here. She says, yeah, it's been hectic, ladies, but I'm back. Good to see you. KDS says, I'm like, I don't know what that means and feels like internally, and just say, I think I have. Oh my goodness. And I think she was also talking about maybe a channeling for JFK, which we do have that on our channeling list. We have quite a list now, and we're very appreciative for all the suggestions. And we will eventually get to all of those channelings for sure. Um, Everybody's saying hooray. Rosie says, "You are so sweet." Thank you. Um, Caitlin said, I'm going to make us all deities in honor of today. I would, dude, that would be amazeballs. Like, make sure you tag me so I can see that. That would be so cool. Okay, we have our friend Janine back here who is looking for her card. She says, "Could I have a positive sign to be more hopeful and pull me away from the darkness of 2023?" You got it, Chica. Let's go ahead and pull that card. Because, we have been talking about, it does sometimes it feels like sometimes that there is a lot of darkness around us, but sometimes we forget that we are that light in the darkness, that we don't have to be consumed by it, that each and every one of us is a light. And although externally it may look like darkness, that's because sometimes we don't see that the light is right here. But let's go ahead and pull a card on that. Be spirit, prosperity, and look at all the light that's in that card. All right, Janine. Actually, before I get to this card, there's something that popped in, and it was you were in elementary school. It's around a birthday time. Mm, I'd say you're between like 6 and 8 years old, like 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there, that age. And it's looking at the candles on your cake. And in your heart, truly believing that when you make a wish and you blow out those candles, that wish is coming true. And for some reason, as adults, we've kind of shied away from it. This tradition of lighting candles and blowing them out on our birthdays, it's become more of a routine and a thing to do than actually believing in the magic. That cake represents your life as a whole. That's oftentimes why cakes are round, circular like Gaia, circular like Source, saying that you've made it a whole nother year, a whole nother trip around the sun, that everything comes full circle, that everything is perfect and balanced and complete. And that perfect balance is there even before we even light those candles. Even before we can see the light of those candles, we know that life is sweet, that it's in perfect balance. We don't know how yet. We don't know quite why certain things happen. But looking at that cake, it's in perfect balance. And so perhaps in meditation, you want to reconnect to yourself at that very young age. And I want you to see the lights, see those candles all aflame. And as you look into those flames, I want you to make a wish. And no, you don't have to wait for your birthday. You can make your wish at any time. But this time with the childlike heart. Because as a child, we knew that magic existed. Because we knew that we were the magicians. We knew that we were magic. As a child, you looked at those candles and you knew that I am the one making a wish. And when I make that wish comes true. And blowing out the candles is just a 3D symbolic representation that my wishes, my breath, has so much magic to it, so much power. And don't forget that. And so perhaps even though now in 2023, the Matrix would like us to believe that we are being consumed by darkness, that darkness is winning, that darkness is all around us. Do you know why it's saying that? Because it wants you to forget that you're one of those many beautiful candles, that you are a light in this world, just like so many other people. And so light your candles tonight. And remember that you have the power to make a change. And the change starts with you. And the more that you heal yourself, and the more that you honor yourself and love yourself, the brighter you shine your light and the bigger impact you have on that darkness. So go find that little girl that's in front of that cake. She has a lot to teach you. All right. Hope that makes sense, Janine. Let's see. Let's go back here. Oh, wow. John is here as well. Hello, hello. Katia says, how do you all respond or take the question from others? Do you accept Jesus Christ as your savior? Interesting. Well, you know, I've connected to Christ consciousness many times. That ascended master is pretty amazing, I would say. John says, it's like leg day. If you think it's the worst, uh, it could be your favorite, or it could be your favorite. Um, and Susie also honoring one of the many masters. Caitlin says, if you combine the meanings of both my birth name and adoptive name, I'd be Pure Dawn, star of the sea pearl. Way too long. KDS is wondering how many dimensions. As we've learned it within this universe, some say 12, some say 13, but just within this universe, we learned that there's other universes as well. But, you know, I would say go inwards and see what you come up with. You know, don't neglect your own intuition. Magic Universe said just beautiful. And where KDS says, so I feel powerless to impact, and the way forward is to look inward. Exactly. And that's the message that I've gotten from so many ascended masters, Gaia herself, the spirits that I connect to, any sort of extraterrestrial forms that I've connected to. They said it's so hard to look outside the self and, you know, find the answers that we're searching for, you know, and I think that's why so many, um, you know, spiritualities out there, they all say to go inwards, because we could be so easily manipulated and so easily tricked when we look outside ourselves. You know, our eyes could be tricked, we can be deceived, we can hear things wrong, see things wrong. But when you're looking on the inside and when you're healing the self, knowing that yourself is part of the whole, um, you make an impact in that way. And actually, you start to see your reality begin to change. You know, if we are, let's say, never go inwards and don't have a, like, we don't want to heal anything, perhaps we might see the world as just being a reflection of all of those unhealed things, that it's horrible and it's traumatic, and you know, everything is a struggle and everything's difficult. But in healing those aspects, you start to see that, oh wait, I'm starting to see the light in things because you found the light in yourself. And so it may seem selfish, but at the same time, we're not saying don't try to help others. Yes, in the external, try to help others, but also in loving yourself and helping yourself, you also help them as well. So it's a twofold thing, I think. At least that's my 2 cents. um, So, any more super chats, super stickers? Through super chats and super stickers, I'm more than happy to pull a card for you guys. Um, you all have such beautiful energies. I'm just feeling very emotional today, by the way. Just being able to feel you guys, especially with channeling Gaia, I'm just feeling emotional. So, um, so yeah, definitely yes. If you want a card here, super chat, super stickers, or if you want something more private, you don't want everybody to be in on what's going on in your life, I'd be more than happy to do a private reading with you through my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. A lot of different types of readings for you guys to take a look at. Um, Thank you, Susie. Thank you so much. Lisa said, bless up. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So if there aren't any more super chats and super stickers, I say it's time for our guided meditation. And Caitlin said, Tara, your name means earth, so I'm not surprised you got such a beautiful message from Gaia. Thank you. I used to struggle with my name when I was younger um, because, it seemed like all my friends, oh, KDS. Oh, hey, 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 let's pull a card for you. Thank you so much, by the way. Um, because it seemed like everybody had all these cool meanings for their names. And my mom would say, oh, your name means the good earth. And I was like, my name means dirt. And my mom's like, no, it doesn't just mean dirt. She was like, I chose your name because, well, my grandmother's Irish, so my mom wanted a nice Irish name, and that's also why my brother's name is Brian. King of the leprechauns. Um, but she's like, it's the high tower, it's the fairy mound in Ireland. She goes, it's a very magical thing, and she goes, you're connected to everything that life comes from. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And it took me a while, I think, to really embrace my name. And I realized I was like, heck yeah, my name means dirt, means soil. I'm like, I love it. All right. Um, okay, so a general message for KDS. Would love to do it. All right, so here we go. Um, Sue said it's a beautiful name. I hope you have a granddaughter with a name like Tara someday. Oh, we'll see. Um, KDS says can't figure out how to deliver the message with the super chat. Oh, no worries. But I gotcha. We'll do that. And then John, definitely, we'll pull a card for John. Lisa says it's a lovely Irish name, and I also found out it's Hindi as well, and it has a lot of different origins. Sometimes meaning star, sometimes meaning like the goddess Tara in her many colorful forms. um, KDS said, love you all. Thank you. And then Caitlin is Irish as well. Oh, Aringabra. Here we go. Okay, so KDS, before I pull your card, what I'm seeing is the moment before a butterfly comes out of its chrysalis. And I had a wonderful opportunity at one point in my old home where I had a wall and it used to be covered in these beautiful green chrysalises with these monarch butterflies. And I would see these little monarch caterpillars go munch, 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 and they would eat up all the milkweed. And, I'd try to propagate more milkweed for them so that they never run out. And then they would go and they'd create their chrysalis. And it feels like this is the stage that you're in right now. You're in this little chrysalis, you're growing to the point where the chrysalis is getting really uncomfortable, where you're almost too big for that chrysalis, meaning you're understanding and you're feeling and you're starting to ask so many questions right now. So your chrysalis is filling up with questions, it's filling up with uncertainty, it's filling up with all of these feelings, these new feelings and sensations. But this is the moment just before that little split in the chrysalis happens and you start to feel yourself expand like you've never felt it before. And of course, there's going to be the point where you got to go out into the sun, i.e., connecting to source, and you start to see and feel yourself in a whole new light. But you're not quite there yet. So it may seem a little restrictive right now. It may seem sometimes a little dark. but it's only because you're in an environment or in a phase where you haven't broken out to the next step yet, but you're very close. And so that's probably why sometimes things may seem difficult to figure out or they don't make sense. And it's because right now, inside that little teeny chrysalis, you're starting to grow beyond it and outgrow it. But let's go ahead and pull a card for you. Okay, KDS, these are the backs of my cards, okay? And the card I pulled is the card that's the back of the card. So this one is called Pegasus Transcending. That makes a lot of sense from the image that I was seeing. So, and I think that that's where a lot of people are right now, but that's probably why you feel so filled with questions, like why this, why that, you know, and this is a good thing. You should be asking questions at this time. Don't stop asking questions. An inquisitive mind is an expansive mind. And so if you hear something from, you know, me, anybody, any sort of spiritual person, 3D person, doesn't matter, whatever information they're trying to give you, ask questions. Why? Why? Where did you get your information? Why do you believe this? Why? um, go into the religions, go into the non-religions, go into just trying to understand as much as possible. And while you're doing that and asking the external questions, make sure that you're also going inwards and asking the internal questions of yourself, because right now you are inside that chrysalis. And inside that chrysalis, which I would kind of see it as that butterfly being your higher self has the answers. You know, maybe the 3D consciousness inside that chrysalis is, why is it so dark? Why is it so cramped? Why does it feel so uncomfortable? But if you ask that higher self, that butterfly that's inside of there, why? The butterfly would tell you, because you were meant to fly. Well, that's why it feels uncomfortable. Why is it dark? Because you're breaking free through to the light very soon. Your wings feel a little cramped. Your consciousness is a little too big for the old consciousness that you used to be in, and that's all. No fear, no worries. It's just a new beginning. And so that's what I see in this card, and that's kind of what I'm getting with you as well, is that you're ready to break free. Consciously speaking, you're very good at asking those external questions, but start going inwards and asking them internally. And I think you're going to be amazed at the things your higher self has to tell you. And although you probably have already been tapping in, you've already been, you know, trying to ask these questions, ask questions that perhaps you hadn't asked before. Try to see new angles to your higher self, really get to know yourself. And in doing so, you break free of your chrysalis and you really start to grow like never before. Um, Katia says, "Inquisitive mind is an expansive mind." Yes. Oh, take care, my friend. Definitely. Tiny Witch's Journey is here as well. Hello, hello. All right. Okay. So thank you. Okay, let's go back. I think we had another one of our friends, John. And then we have our friend Magic Universe. So let's see. Let me see if John had a question. Do 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 do. Um, all right, and then Magic Universe would like a general message. I'd be happy to do that. Um, okay, so yeah, John, let me know if you have a particular question in mind. Maybe it's a general message. Says it's the darkness of the womb, not the darkness of the tomb. Yes, exactly. All right, so let me know if you have a question in mind, or perhaps just kind of see what comes through. And then we'll get to our friend Patrick, also known as Magic Universe. I'm going to have a little bit of water on that, actually. Okay. Whew. I will say after this chat, I'm gonna go decompress. I'm just gonna sit out in the sun, just eat some source, just ground. Um, Actually, that's how I ground myself. Just eating source, just filling up my body with source energy, seeing the sun as a representation of source, but just consciously just trying to go directly to source, which I've never left because I am source, filling my body up with that, you know. Okay, so let's see. John would like a general question, all right, or general message. Sorry, more than happy to. Okay, bro, let's go. Okay, John, before I pull a card for you, I was seeing as if you were being led away, as if you were a prisoner. And there's these armed guards, and they're putting you into a holding facility surrounded by barbed wire. And at first glance, it may seem hopeless. Like, oh my gosh, these guys are armed. There's barbed wire. There's no possible way that I'm getting out. They have governance over me. I can't escape them. They're stronger than me. Nothing I can do about it. Until there's this realization that no one being is better and stronger than any other. And on the one hand, there could be the restrictive mindset of the latter, saying that they're armed, they're big, they have muscles. I'm surrounded by this barbed wire. There's nothing I can do about it. And so then the reality becomes that no, you can't do anything about it because you believe you can't do anything about it. So any sort of escape, any sort of exit is hidden from you. But when you realize the people who are bringing me in must be a reflection of me somehow. And if they're a reflection of me, and this barbed wire is also a reflection of me, then I have the ability to transmute it. I want to be able to heal it. Where have I put barbed wire around my heart? Where have I tried to exude dominance over another? Perhaps it was over an animal, or perhaps it was over another human being. Perhaps my ego tried to exude dominance over my higher self. When you understand that, all of a sudden the exit becomes clear. You find your escape. You realize they left the door open, and you're no longer a prisoner, but you were always free. And so it's all about perspective. Okay, so let's pull you a card. You got the same card as our friend, expansion, that guardian spirit of summer. And it feels like that is also where you're at. You're in the understanding that the world is only how you see it. So if you see the world as restrictive, as confining, as I have no power here, then that will continue to be the world that you live in. It will feel very confining, it will feel restrictive. But if you start to look at everything as an opportunity instead of as an enemy, that these people, you know, who make me feel confined, or perhaps this government that makes me feel confined, perhaps it's an upbringing that made me feel confined. It's an opportunity to look at where that hides within you, because all of the world is just a mirror. And that's hard for the ego to accept, but the higher self loves it. So the ego is going to be like, no, no, I'm nothing like these people. I'm nothing like this government. I'm nothing like these confinements and these shackles. But I'm just going to sit and be angry because I don't like it. But you do have the power to change it. And it's with perspective, it's with healing. And so when you look at these things that feel restrictive and confining, you find that within yourself. Where have I done that? And it might be a big pill to swallow, but it's for the best healing. It's for you. It truly is. It's not meant to berate you or put you down at all. It's all for healing. And so when you go inwards and you find those areas where maybe perhaps you've been restrictive, you've been confining, you've been dominant in a negative fashion, you release it, you thank it for showing you, you let it go. All of a sudden the world feels less restrictive. It feels more loving. It feels more like an embrace than a shackling. Um, and so I really feel that that's where you're at. So again, another very similar message of the inward journey helps to create a different outward perspective. So, all right. Excellent, excellent. Um, Caitlin said from the AFI Bodies Oracle, every card is a song on the Bodies album by the band AFI. Katie said, done. I love that card. Caitlin said, John, I got doceria for you. Be careful of things that look tasty because it might hide danger. Ooh. All right. Okay, so let's get to our friend Patrick, aka Magic Universe. Ah, thank you. People reminding others to smash the like button. I do appreciate it. KDS says, we have the power to change things based on our perspective. Allow self to look objectively without judgment. Yes, 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 yes. 100, yes. Okay, Magic Universe. Let's see. Okay, Patrick, I don't know if you've ever been ice skating before, but I see ice skating and just this like freeness of gliding on the ice on these little ice skates. And it's interesting because, um, sometimes people talk about ascended masters. One of the ascended masters, Jesus, comes to mind, and they talk about how he walked on water. And some people might say, that's impossible. I guess it was okay for him because he was an ascended master, but definitely not us. We could never walk on water. And it's all about, I guess, perspective once again, how you look at it. Well, what if the water froze? What's to keep you from walking on water then? You're still walking on water. It's just transmuted its structure, no? And you can not only walk on it, but you can play on it. You can glide. And you can change its structure once again and allow it to melt. And you can be in the water. You can become one with the water. And so that just seemed like an important message to come through, was that things can change, and what seems impossible can actually be possible. We just have to remember that nothing is impossible. Okay, let's see. See. Do. Ooh, we have unicorn, purity. Magic Universe says, I used to ice skate a lot. Really? That's amazing. Okay, so let's go in here. Unicorn purity. Okay, your higher self saying this is time to go against the naysayers. And anytime anybody tells you that something's impossible, you're going to prove them wrong. Anytime your mind tells you that something is impossible, you're going to prove it wrong. It's going to be hard to prove it wrong through the ego, so you're going to have to go through the higher self. You're going to have to go through your soul and your spirit, because the soul and the spirit has what we learned in a channeling before with Anna, the 1,000 eyes versus our 2 human eyes. Our 2 human eyes, it's very hard to see things from a well-rounded perspective. But from our 1,000 eyes, then we change the game a little bit. And the example was what we had at the very beginning. As somebody says, "Oh, Patrick, you can never walk on water." "Oh, really? Go out and walk on the ice. Is it not water?" Just because we call it ice doesn't mean that it's not water. It still is water. It's just changed form. Somebody says, "Oh, Patrick, you'll never be able to fly." "Oh yeah? I fly in the astral all the time." Is that not yet flying? That astral projection is me. That's my soul. My soul flies all the time. So don't tell me I can't fly. Somebody says, "Oh, you know, you'll never be able to make a big impact in this world." "Oh yeah? Well, the world, the outside world, is me. Therefore, everything inside of me is also the outside world. And if I can change what's inside of me, I change the outside world." And so there's always an answer to the naysayers. Thank you, Blue Jays. There's always an answer to the matrix, the ego telling you something is impossible. So if you ever get stumped like this, "Oh, this is impossible. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, really?" Let's have a chat with the higher self and see what the higher self has to say. So this is all about you being able to see that everything in your world is possible. Anything, anything. Yes, even flying is not impossible. All right. All right. KDS says, if I had been Olympian caliber, I would have competed against Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Oh, wow. We got some ice skaters up in here. Um, and she said, "Oh, wow, these Blue Jays are just flying all over here." KDS said, "Tiffany Chen was my idol. Our family didn't have the money to go to a remote training area. I don't regret it. There is nothing like being on ice alone to tap into self and feel free." That's amazing. Caitlin said, "Love it. Figure skating is so beautiful." Scott Hamilton, Rudy Galindo, Katarina Witt. I could go on forever. Magic Universe said, "Thanks. It all makes sense. Much love." Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys. Whew. Seems like the Blue Jays enjoy it as well, as they're going crazy. One of them's at the top of the tree staring at me right now. What's up? All right. KDS says, "Anyone who has a chance to skate is so wonderful." I love ice skating. When I had a chance, I haven't had a chance to do it very often, but I got to do it as a kid, and I thought it was a lot of fun. All right, so I am going to pull a card from here. Liv says, "Your backgrounds are cool." Well, thank you. I'm actually in the Arizona White Mountains at the moment, which is my home. And if I can have a chance to be outside with you guys, I'll always make sure that I'm outside with you guys. Okay, so we're going to go into our guided meditation. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who donated with the super chats and super stickers. It was an honor to read for each and every one of you guys. Thank you for choosing me to channel with Gaia. I felt that that was amazing. So good choice, everyone. Good choice. Thank you for allowing me to do that. I'm glad that I can share all these messages with you guys, and thank you for sharing all of your messages with us as well. But I'm going to use this deck to help guide us, a focus for today's guided meditation before we end our chat and before I go off and go ground myself. Okay. So let's see. Caitlin said also Katarina Witt's Carmen and Scott Hamilton's Walk This Way. Wow. I always thought figure skating was so beautiful. I wanted to be graceful and strong like those people that I saw in the Olympics. Okay, so it looks like we have a card here. Oh, she is moonlight shy. Well, you know that tomorrow we have our new moon in Scorpio. So let this be a moon meditation for us. We'll do a guided moon meditation in Scorpio. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, known as all about death and rebirth, being able to look into the shadows, not with fear, but with courage, knowing that those shadows have a lot to teach us, knowing that there's a lot of healing and growth that are in those shadows. So let's dive into the energy of Scorpio and let's dive into that new moon. Where our sky becomes more dark. It seems that it is darker outside, but really it's a chance for us to go inwards. When the outward world seems dark, go inwards. Find your light. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to keep that there as reference for myself. And let's give you guys a nice little background. So maybe I'm going to point this camera. Can I flip it around? Yes. There we go. The birds have been liking hanging out on that tree there. So I'm filming them, crazy birds. Okay, so we're gonna look at this beautiful tree and we're gonna go into this meditation, going into the dark moon, going into that Scorpio energy. And so I ask that you guys find a nice, comfortable space. You could be outside right now, you could be under a tree, you could be sitting in a chair, laying down on a bed, any position that you find is most comforting. See if also you could free yourself of distraction at the moment. So perhaps any alarms or buzzers that may go off, maybe close your door if you're indoors. And if you're outdoors, maybe find a nice quiet spot somewhere for yourself. And as we do so, let's go ahead and close our eyes and bring our awareness to our breath. Breathing in and out. And with eyes shut, we notice the darkness behind our eyelids. Surrounded by the darkness as we go inwards. Continuing to breathe in and out. And we realize as we go inwards that we possess an ability to see darkness as well as light. Understanding that we hold both polarities, positive and negative, yin and yang, dark and light. That we are a beautiful balance. And that beautiful balance can be seen in the outside world, as the world is just a reflection of us. And as we think upon the ever-darkening moon, we can see balance right there in the starry sky. Sometimes a moon that shines brightly, and sometimes a moon that is invisible to our eye. And whether light or dark, we still honor that moon. We know that it is there. We know that that moon is us. And as we honor one of the many zodiac, Scorpio, often feared, often pushed away, but only because it has embraced its darkness, its other half, creating the utmost balance within itself. And it is here that we ask Scorpio to guide us through this darkness, riding on the back of a scorpion, like a scorpion baby with its scorpion mother. And allow it to show us what hides within our darkness. Knowing that darkness is nothing to fear, it's just a part of who we are. And the more that we can shed light on this darkness, the better we can understand ourselves, the more apt we are to heal ourselves, the more capable we are of healing ourselves and bringing that darkness into balance with our light. And so behind the darkness of your closed eyes, in the inkiness of going inwards, I want you to visualize a darkened moon, almost as if you were looking in a circular obsidian mirror. And in this obsidian mirror, I want you to gaze into your reflection. And if you feel frightened, remember that this is merely a part of you. There are no monsters. There are no demons. Just areas of your life begging to be healed. Whatever images come forth, accept them as they are. No judgment. We are free of judgment here. This is a place of healing. If you're not quite sure to heal what you see in the obsidian mirror, ask Scorpio to help you, as Scorpio is the great transmuter, the great lantern in the darkness, the lantern hanging on that spiked tip of the scorpion tail. The claws of the scorpion, not here to hurt you, but to help you snip away what no longer serves you. Perhaps you are viewing old beliefs. Perhaps you are viewing old programming, old traumas. Scorpio is here to help you to transmute it. It's time for it to heal, not for it to grow and fester in your shadows. Take as much time as you need with the images that come forth. Remember that you can spend as much time in front of this mirror as you wish. But when you are finished, make sure you thank the images that came forward, as they came forward not to harm you, not to punish you, not to make you feel any sort of anger or guilt or feelings of unworthiness, but merely to show you what needs to be healed, understanding that you have the power to heal these things. And thank the scorpion, often misunderstood, often feared, but one of our biggest guardians, one of those who doesn't mind traipsing through the shadows to help people find their light. Thank the Scorpio within you for showing you the way. And when you are ready, go ahead and hop on the back of your scorpion companion and ride back into a state of awakening by wiggling your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back to your breath. And when you are ready, open your eyes. All right, you guys. Ooh, I don't know if you can see, these birds are flying all over the place. My goodness. All right, here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today in this chat. It was so fun to hang out with you guys. Thank you for your beautiful messages, all of your wonderful lights. I love when we can all come together like this. Thank you for everybody who allowed me to read for them today, for all of the wonderful donations. And thank you to everybody who helps to support me here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It seems like I'm a broken record, but I don't know how else to express my gratitude other than gracias. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I will see you guys. All right, next Sunday, we have another channeling video coming out for you guys tomorrow. You guys said that you wanted to see a follow-up to the previous channeling video that we did last Monday. So if you didn't get to see that, definitely check it out on our channeling playlist that we have here on my channel. How many times can I say channel? But tomorrow we're going to be looking into free will crimes. And how have we committed free will crimes? So, anyway, from me to you guys, love you guys, whatever part of the world that you guys reside in. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye.